Here we are. We are back for another beautiful Anti-Hacks podcast. This is Nunzi on a beautiful Thursday night, and I'm here with my boys, my hacks, Michael Hall and Ryan Stanley. Stan the man, what's the deal tonight, my brother?
It's a little playoff baseball, some Thursday night football. Freaking hate the Eagles. Let's go Panthers.
I love it, dude. I love it. And my buddy Michael Hall, he's on his high horse right now, as he should be. What's going on, bro?
Very little sleep, but don't give a shit.
Don't give a shit. Exactly.
Still jacked up.
You are still jacked up, and as you should be, which will tell us that we are going to talk about the Yankees' comeback and a Game 5 win. Down 0-2, win the next 3 games and advance to the ALCS. But we will also talk about some football. We'll preview Week 6, give you our picks, which will probably suck unless you're Michael Hall. And we'll talk a little FanDuel fantasy and try to get you some picks for the week, win you some money. But we got to start baseball, boys. We have to start baseball. As much as it pains me, and I know it pains you, Rye, too, even though we love baseball, we love playoff baseball, it's just painful to see the Mets not in there after getting a taste of it 2 years ago in the World Series. But Mike, your boys, your Yankees, what a great comeback. I have to say, as much as I hate the damn team, what a great comeback. Can you tell us about this Game 5?
You know what? Leave the hate. Check the hate at the door. Jump on board. There's plenty of room for you. They did it, guys. They fucking did it. They beat the unbeatable team with the unbeatable pitcher on the mound twice. I mean, they technically only beat him once, but you know what I mean. And I mean, did I think the Yankees had a chance to beat the Indians? Yes. I think we match up well. Yes. I think when the Indians look at the Yankees, they kind of look into the mirror. I mean, very, very similarly built teams, right, with the bullpen and a deep lineup. So, you know, if I'm a Cleveland fan, I probably didn't like the Yankee matchup to begin with. But when you have Corey Kluber pitching in Game 2 and Game 5, both at home, I mean, how the hell do you lose that series? But the Yankees got it done. Now, the Indians kicking the baseball around all series definitely helps. My God. I mean, this team, excellent defensive team all year. I mean, they're pretty much excellent at everything. Could they throw? But this series, 4 errors in Game 4. You know, 2 more last night. The huge one in the 9th inning after Gardner's legend. That at-bat is now stuff of Yankee lore and legend. It's already been put in the books, in the annals, in the basement of Yankee Stadium. That at-bat was unbelievable, guys. Against Cody Allen, no less. I mean, what about – and Gardner does it a lot. There's not many bigger critics of Brett Gardner than myself.
Yep.
Because a big problem I have with him is he'll battle and battle. Yeah, look, good leadoff hitter. He sees a lot of pitches. And then he'll just make an out. It doesn't, nothing comes of it. He was like a 190 hitter this year with 2 strikes. I mean, that's just not good. Spot when we needed him, man. He roped a single to right. Got at least the one insurance fund which we needed, and then Jay Bruce just kind of lollipops the ball back in. Lindor's flat-footed. And in between Hop and Todd Frazier, who is, I've learned, he's just a smart baseball player. Say what you want about him. He's going to hit 200 and strike out a ton. He's got a high baseball IQ. You read it perfectly. He scores too. So we go up 3. Chapman closes it out, and oh my God, what a win! What a win, guys! I can't I can't believe they did it. Thoughts?
Well, I can't believe they did it. It's just, I don't know. I had a good feeling about this Yankee team. I know Ryan thinks I'm rooting for them. I'm not necessarily rooting for them. Um, I'm definitely going National League in the end, except for unless they play the Nationals, so then I'd probably root for the Yankees. But other than that, I'm rooting National League all the way. Just a National League type of guy. But I just had a good feeling about this Yankee team. I think they're going to the series. I made a little wager on them to win the World Series this year, just thinking that you know a wild card team might come out of it. I thought maybe them or the Diamondbacks. So those are the two that I was thinking, and I chose the Yankees. And I know you keep saying the big bad Indians. I know they're so good, but I never felt that way. I just
Well,
never did.
yeah, I mean, listen, they won what 102 games in the regular season. They pretty much didn't lose the last 2 months of the season. But you're watching the series, all of their big dogs did not show up. They just did not show up.
And
I
Ramirez,
mean, who played
Ramirez
well? Who
not
played
show.
well for the Indians? Ramirez, 2 for 20, right?
Right, Lindor.
Lindor. I mean, he had the grand slam, but outside of that, really nothing.
Right.
Jay Bruce had the big game 1, but other than that, very quiet. Encarnacion obviously had the ankle, but I don't think he had a hit.
You know what? You know what, Mike?
Yes.
Here is where I think the Yankees won the game. And you may think I'm crazy, but maybe not. This is how the Yankees won that game yesterday. Up 3-0. And then the Indians had that inning. It was the bottom of the 5th. CeCe was cruising, by the way. He was pitching great, dude.
He was dominant.
He was great. What do you have, 9 strikeouts and 4 1/3?
Exactly.
So he runs in a little trouble, a couple of base hits in a row. And then Girardi does a nice job, takes him out, and brings in Robertson. And Robertson saved the season. He did. Yeah. He said this was the game right here. He got Lindor to ground into that double play, and that was the game. Once that happened, I'm not kidding. I'm laying in bed watching the game. Once that ground ball happened, and it was a double play, I said to myself, "That's the game." And of course, there was plenty of game left, but I just felt that was the game. The Indians had a chance to break it open because what did they have? Like 3 or 4 base hits in a row. It looked like they were clicking. The fans were getting crazy. And then Robertson comes in and just shuts them down like that, shuts them up like that. And that was it. That was it for the Indians offense. I think that was the game right there. That's how the Yankees won that game.
It was massive. And I didn't think, okay, wow, the game's over now. But I did think that, we didn't win. I don't think we won the game there, but we could have lost it there. That's how important that play was, because you just wait, Lindor, as much as he struggled, of course, he's always apt for the dramatics and the big hit.
Yeah.
And just the way that team's, just like you said, the crowd was back to a fever pitch that you didn't hear since, before the game started. Because Didi, in the first inning hit the home run, that the place sounded like a morgue after that. They finally got back into it, and man, yeah, the pit started growing in my stomach. First and second, 1 out, 2 already in, 4 straight hits.
Mm-hmm.
And what a play by Didi on that play.
Yeah, great play.
Because he took a quick glance at second. He realized he was close enough to the bag to take it himself. And you have Lindor running there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He threw an absolute rocket, and they were able to get 2. And you saw the camera showed CeCe's reaction in the dugout. He knew how big that was. That was a massive play. But yeah, Sabathia, what can you say? It was the perfect formula. Mm-hmm. Score early. We're not, we're not going in, we're thinking, well, we're not going to completely rough up Kluber like we did in game 2. We don't need to. If you can get 1 or 2, again, not expecting to hit balls out of the ballpark, find a way to score a couple runs, and CeCe's got to be really, really good for like 5 innings. That's pretty much what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, DD and CC. I mean, equals ALCS. I mean, unbelievable. Didi Gregorius is.
Oh,
Let me tell you something.
Oh.
Lindor. Carlos Correa is a very, 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 very good young player.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Seager is a very, very good young player.
Mm-hmm.
I would trade Didi Gregorius for no one to be my shortstop. No freaking buddy. Correa included.
How old is he?
Didi?
Yeah.
25.
Damn.
25, maybe 26.
Wow. What an unsung hero that guy has been, huh? What an unsung.
I mean,
the predicament he really comes into when he's named the starting shortstop. You know, he's coming in for a Yankee all-time great. Geez, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough. Like for the mental aspect of it, I think that's really tough too. And he took it in stride.
The kid's something else, and Todd Frazier speaks very highly of him too, because they kind of grew up together in instructional league in Cincinnati. Frazier and Didi, and so they've known each other for a long time. I mean, Didi was like a 16-year-old kid at the time, and Frazier was probably in his early 20s or whatever. But Frazier said he knew right away. You know, this scrawny little teenager has got something special about him. And quick story about Gene Michael when he passed a couple months ago. But, you know, the stories are legendary. You know, Gene Michael, you know, one of the great baseball minds of all time. A kind of guy that's probably forgotten more about baseball than the rest of us know put together. One of his last moves, I guess you call it. I mean, he was at the time. He was still in the scouting department, still in charge of the scouting. He told the Yankees, listen, I've scouted this kid, Didi Gregorius, and you guys should trade for him. That was all Gene Michael. And the Yankees, you know, traded Vidal Nuno and I think, you know, some Bazooka Joe Bubblegum to Arizona for Didi. I mean, think about that trade.
Talk about a steal.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, Cashman's made some good ones the last year and a half, but that one in history is one of the best ever.
That's amazing, dude.
You know, so one thing about this series, that's unbelievable about Didi, but one thing about this series, and I'm not second guessing Francona in any way, really. I just don't understand. I must have missed this during the season. I know it happened late in the year, but when fit them to play this guy Urshela at third, when they could have played Ramirez there, where he played most of the year there, put Kipnis back in second, Austin Jackson in center, and Brantley in the outfield. Don't you think your team and lineup is so much better? Good with the glove. He killed them with the glove.
Yeah, he did. Well, it's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, now,
Michael Brantley was on the bench. He batted like .299 this year. The guy's a .300 hitter.
Yeah, Rye, that was strange to me. I thought that was really, really strange when I'm watching these games and seeing Giovanni Urshela at third base and Kipnis in center field, he's a second baseman. I didn't get it at all, Rye. I'm with you on that. I'm glad you brought that up.
That's just one thing. That was just one of the glaring things to me. I don't know if it's something we missed along the way of why. Like, I don't know, like Urshela, like I understand that if he's this wizard, I guess, at third, but he was far from it. Every time the ball was to him, I'm like, oh, good things for the Yankees coming.
Well, that is his MO, is his glove. And I mean, I think he only made one error in the series. I'd have to look it up.
But he seemed very jittery out there.
Yeah, I mean, well, do you remember the error? It was that ball. It was a line drive. He just took off the shin. He just missed it. I mean,
crushed the shin.
That's just an out. You know, it's just a hooking line drive that, you know, we could catch. We're baseball players. Major leaguers can catch. But I mean, I think that the one thing they said, obviously I don't follow the Indians, Urshela got a lot of playing time at the end of the year, and he did hit. How much, I don't know, but obviously enough for Francona to feel comfortable playing him every day.
Yeah, and see, but I think sometimes, and by the way, he did make that other error because he threw to first and he
Threw
pulled
high.
off. Yeah, he pulled him off the bag.
Off the bag, Gardner. You're right. Yeah,
Right?
he made
But
more than one. Actually, might have been more than two. Now that I think about it, Cleveland made so many.
right, no, he definitely had a few. Like I would say at least three, but I'm not sure. But the other thing, I just feel like Francona, who I respect tremendously, I think he's one of the best managers in the game,
Me too.
sometimes falls in love with this type of move.
Yeah,
He's
well,
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ride this young gun. I'm gonna put Kipnis in center. I'm gonna have Brantley ride the bench. That just doesn't make sense to me.
yeah. I
I
mean,
don't, I don't know.
listen, it's weird, but I mean, Tito's
But like,
he's one of the best, and he obviously had his reasons, but didn't work out for him.
It's
but
hard.
like Ryan, yeah,
It's well, it's what I was just gonna say. It's really hard. It's hard. It is right. It's hard to second guess a guy like Francona because he really is one of the best. But you're right. I mean, that was a really strange move. He was putting him in there for his glove, like you said, Mike. He was kind of in there for his glove. It's really important, I believe, in the playoffs is to get as many solid bats out there as possible. And as long as a guy is not like a Schwarber and threatening your defense, because remember a couple years ago, it wasn't that long ago, Schwarber in left field was just an absolute abomination.
That was a train wreck.
Right. And he didn't hit enough actually in the playoffs to warrant himself being out there. But what I was going to say is Urshela, I mean, in the series, he only hit 167. And during the year, Rye, only 224 with one home run and 15 RBIs. So I don't know where that was coming from, to be honest with you. It's quite puzzling, to be honest.
It has to just be like a gut thing he had. I mean,
Yeah.
because honestly, like if you, Stan, like you said, I mean, if you just do the Indians' normal alignment, you have Ramirez at third, Kipnis in second, Brantley in the outfield. It's not like that's a bad defense.
Mm-mm.
right,
know.
not at all. Like they would
So,
actually cover more ground.
right.
Yeah.
So and Kipnis, we saw that sac fly. I think in game 4, he that Gardner hit. I think Todd Frazier was on third and scored. I mean, that was not a deep fly ball, and Kipnis did a bad job. He caught that ball flat-footed.
Not an outfielder. He's not an
Took
outfielder.
about a second and a half to get rid of that ball, and
Yeah.
it could have been a much closer play. So strange by Francona. But
Good
guess what?
point.
The Indians are done. The Indians are done.
Done.
And now we have the Houston Astros.
All right, well,
Now, the Houston Astros, another pretty good baseball team. I don't know if you
Yes.
guys know that. Top heavy with the rotation. You have the Yankees' old buddy Dallas Keuchel, and you got a resurgent Justin Verlander, who looks like the Verlander of 2012. Lineup lethal, absolutely lethal.
Mhm. Deep.
But I want to, not much to be said there. They're good top to bottom. There's no holes in that lineup. I want to talk about this bullpen because here's where the Yankees finally have a distinct advantage because Cleveland's bullpen is top notch. The Yankees bullpen is top notch. The Astros bullpen, I mean, okay, Ken Giles is your closer. Let's see him in a big spot. Chris Davinsky, really good arm. But second half this year just was not the same guy was in the first half. And I don't know anyone else in this freaking pen. Are you scared of like Francisco Liriano to come in and get a lefty out? I mean,
no, you're not scared. You're not scared of them, but like Gregerson, Gregerson's still there, right? He's on the roster.
I haven't looked it up yet. Like,
Yeah, he's solid. He's solid.
Don't they have
sure.
They're solid, but they're not this Yankee bullpen, or they're not Brian Shaw and Andrew Miller.
Right. And Cody Allen, right. And that's a big thing. So, we'll see. I mean, I think if the Yankees, now the Yankees released the rotations lined up. So game 1 tomorrow will be Tanaka against Keuchel. Game 2 will be Verlander against Luis the Dragon Severino. It's my new nickname for him, the Dragon.
I like that. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Some underbite he's got too.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Game 3 is going to be
Is
CC against I don't know for them. I don't know if they lined
Peacock
up
or
Peacock or
is McCullers back or no?
I don't even know. Did he pitch against Boston? I don't remember him pitching against Boston in the divisional.
no, Peacock pitched, and you know what? Let me tell you something. Whoever Peacock is facing, you have the upper hand in that matchup.
Right. I mean, Brad Peacock. I mean, he's a nice pitcher, but come on.
By the way, you called Luis Severino the Dragon. I mean, you just skipped over Tanaka. You didn't call him Godzilla. I mean,
Yeah, that Japanese guy, Godzilla. You know, Matsui was Godzilla.
I was like, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, Matsui's Godzilla. You can't. There's no other Godzilla.
And listen,
Right.
you don't have to force in the nickname. Like Sterling forces in the home run calls nowadays. Everyone has to have one. We don't have to do everyone with a nickname, but I just came up with that because he breathes fire like a dragon. So it's gonna be fun. I mean, I will probably be at the stadium for one of those games. I'm determined to go.
Ooh.
I'm thinking about going to Game 3 Monday night. So, listen, if Dallas Keuchel in Houston, Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially beat him up a little bit, but I'll even just take beating him. Then you got to start thinking that this team is on a special kind of ride here because Dallas Keuchel is like our Skeletor, and we're He-Man. I mean, he's the arch nemesis. We can never beat the guy ever. A couple years ago, everyone remembers, but even the regular season, Keuchel just shoves it up our ass all the time. I know he does. I know he does do a lot of teams, but we can never touch him. So if we go out there and beat him game 1, I mean, look out.
Well, something that we were wanting, or like I thought they should do, I know that you were thinking this. The Yankees should go Matt Holliday somewhere, get some at bat in the first series. Why not against Keuchel?
I think you absolutely have to.
I agree. You have to have Matt Holliday in the lineup.
Listen, when I get the alert for the lineup tomorrow, I usually get 4:30. It'll get released or so, and I don't see Holliday's name in there. I'm going to be very, very upset.
Well, let me tell you, he's in my FanDuel lineup, and I don't want to have to change it. I don't want to have to make that adjustment. I have him in there. I expect him to do something as well.
You have to. I mean, I'll be honest, because it's not going to be Ellsbury. It would be Headley at the age of not Holliday. Headley, I'm going to be totally fair. The guy's really battling right now. He's obviously battling through a funk. He's actually having decent at-bats, but he just cannot hit the ball right now. So he's fighting himself. He can't hit the ball.
Just hit the ball.
Can't hit the ball, let alone get a hit. So I think Holliday, we've been waiting for it. We waited for it all series against Cleveland. But, Girardi always had a pretty good excuse. So, Kluber with the slider, this and that. But a junk ball and lefty, how do you not have Holliday in there? I mean, the time is now, and I want to see him in there. Should be in there.
I agree 100%. I think what my take on this is Houston's a very, very good team. I feel like they went out this season and started off as one of, if not the best team in baseball. And like we said, that lineup's very, very deep, very deep. But they may have some holes in the bullpen, and they may have some holes in the starting rotation other than those first couple guys. So can the Yankees continue this hot run and exploit some of that pitching and just get hot? Because when the Yankees get hot with the bat, they are one of the best. And if they get hot with the bat, they steal a couple games in Houston. Whew, look out, because they're going to come for the series, man. And I have them winning this series 4-1. I think they're just that high right now. They really are. I'm sorry, I have to say it, man. I think they're going to win this series 4-1.
You don't have to apologize to me for that.
Hey, quick.
Love it.
Scherzer just gave up the lead. The Cubbies are now on top.
Ooh.
Holy cow, really?
Yeah, Scherzer came out of the pen. I think Addison Russell just had a big double.
Well, wow. Right. If the Cubs can win, then we can breathe a sigh of relief, because then the Nationals can just suck it.
Nationals still without a series win, correct?
Yep. And I love it, and I just hate them so much, and I still go back to that resting Strasburg, shutting him down that year when they had a good team, and you shut down your best pitcher. Doesn't make any sense. And last week I saw an article that decision and said that this has primed them for this year, and that was a great decision. Well, you know what? If they lose in this fucking first round, it's a fucking terrible decision.
It doesn't matter. Idiots.
It is. It's dumb as hell. It is. And you know what, Rye? I hope the Cubs hold on and win this game, and then I'll be happy for tonight.
Yeah, me too. It's 5-4. Man on first, Hayward on first, Russell on second, with Baez up at bat. So
what's the inning?
I think it's the fifth. I left the TV, but
I
think it's
a lot of game left. But Mike, good luck with your boys. It's nice to be in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs again. Hopefully I'll get that taste again. I'm kind of thirsty, so I'd like a taste sometime.
Just give me a taste, right?
Just give me a taste. Right, you know that Syndergaard, he cut his hair too, right?
No, I didn't see that he did. I just saw that DeGrom did.
Yep, Syndergaard cut his hair too. He put some weird design in the back of his head.
Did anyone grow hair?
I mean, at this point, I can't even. I can't. That's all I can say is I can't even.
Does Steven Matz have shoulder length hair now all of a sudden?
No, he just needs to keep pushing out that sandwich, I guess.
Oh, it's delicious. I sent you guys the picture the other day, did I not?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I bought the mats. Oh man, that Pepper House dressing, guys.
It's good, huh?
It's better than his fastball command.
Yeah. well, definitely this year it's better than his fastball command. I got to get a taste of that thing. Well, you know what? Baseball is still going strong, and tomorrow.
Crazy play in this game.
What happened? Go ahead.
Swung and missed. It doesn't touch the ball. Ball goes between Wieters' legs to the backstop. Men were on first and second. The guy from second looks like he scored. The guy from first ended at third, and Baez is on second.
What?
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing, but he definitely missed the ball. Oh, they're saying that Wieters is saying he hit the helmet on the backswing, that it was interference.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how these umps do here because I don't know, Mike. They've been pretty bad.
Yeah, they have. I mean, the guy.
You know what it is? Not so much bad, but inconsistent.
Right, and I think finally the guy behind the dish last night, I don't know who it was. Mm-hmm. He had a big zone, a very pitcher-friendly zone, but I felt like he was pretty consistent.
Yeah,
both ways. Yeah, both teams got some balls off the plate.
Well, I'll tell you that strike him out, throw him out. That I don't think that was a strike three. By the way,
no, it was outside. But you know what? CC got that pitch.
Yeah,
we got that pitch too. So what are you gonna do? As long as it's consistent, I can't really complain.
Exactly, it's better to be consistent than just, I guess, all around bad. I don't know.
You gotta know what zone.
You gotta have a zone, exactly. So, right, if you're still with us, I know you're kind of glued into that game right now.
No, I am. Tommy La Stella at bat right now. Career 500 against Scherzer. Pretty incredible. Man on second and third could break this thing open right now in the fifth.
Is that like 1 for 2 lifetime though, or is it?
No, like... 3 for 6 with a homer.
Wow.
And a few walks and a couple other at bats, and and some other plate appearances. So
sees the ball well.
Yeah, Scherzer's rattled. This team is rattled. This team, that call didn't go their way. They're freaking rattled. The Cubs are just feeling it at the moment.
Well, let's hope for the best in terms of the Nationals losing, because that would be just a great feeling for me and you.
The Cubs, though, too.
Hey, I'm watching it. I could do I could have a Francesa moment and just start saying, "Oh my God," and you guys don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah. I know.
Wait a second.
Can you see this? Did you see that?
You dope.
All right. So what are we going to, Rye?
No. Well, I feel like we should just get it out of the way. The New York Giants play the Denver Broncos at 8:30 on Sunday. What are your feelings?
Well, we're not doing our FanDuel picks yet, but I never pick against the Giants.
Never. You never do.
But it's over, and if you want to make some money, take every Denver Bronco possible. and I mean all of them. And there's only and if you're gonna take a giant, there is only one that could possibly do anything, and that's Evan Ingram. Because what else are they gonna do? But take the Denver Broncos. This game is 13, right, or something. The spread's like 13 or something.
I think it's 11 and a half, 11 and a half.
I think the Broncos cover pretty easily. I don't think the Giants are going to score. I mean, Roger Lewis is your number one option. I mean, Ingram, I guess, would be. I just don't see it. They're the number one defense against the run. So anything that the Chargers game gave us hope for is going to be shot down like a fucking quail in the fucking night. There's going to be nothing happening. And you know what? I say this, and then this will be the fucking game that they just shock us and fucking win.
Yeah. Here's my take. As we limp into this game, limping because we're 0-5 and limping because we lost 4 wide receivers in one game and 3 are out for the season. I just don't see it, dude. I don't see any reason to believe that this team will actually win again. I'm serious. It's silly to say that, but it's so crazy, man. To lose 4 guys after being 0-4 and leading in a game that they probably could have won. It's just an omen to tell us that this just wasn't the year. It wasn't the year, and just so many things just piled on each game just to tell us that, guys, it's not happening. So when you have to endure what they just endured this last game, and then this whole DRC situation with him walking out of practice, I mean, this freaking coach doesn't have the team. He doesn't have it.
Exactly, Ryan. That's right. I'm so glad you said that, because that's what I'm saying. When is enough here? I know it's only his second season, but hey, 0-5 is freaking terrible.
He's lost the team, Ryan. He's lost them.
He lost the team. He's lost the locker room. I was going to say clubhouse, but he's lost the locker room here. This is not okay. No. This guy, I mean, you got rid of Coughlin for this guy? You got rid of Tommy C, who got us 2 Super Bowls, for this guy? For this Pat Riley fucking wannabe? That's what you did? Tom Coughlin could have done a much better job. And there was every time that there was a rumor about him maybe losing the locker room, somehow or another, he got it back. And I just don't see this happening with McAdoo.
I think we got very lucky last year when we signed a bunch of those defensive players. I think guys got excited and they played out of their minds on defense, because the defense won us that season, basically. That's why we were 11-5, because that season. Those last 8 games or so, we didn't score more than 20 points. So the offense was still freaking horrible. And remember, McAdoo's an offensive guy. No? Yes, he is. So no. I think last year it was more circumstance than anything. So this year, the defense has really taken a huge step back in many ways. And now there's just so many things happening with the injuries and just losing these heartbreak games. He has absolutely lost this team. How does a guy just walk out of practice? Now, we don't know exactly what happened, but as the head coach of the New York Football Giants, you got to get a handle on your players, and especially a veteran guy who they say is great in the locker room. I'm very I don't know what's going on. So what they did and what he did was suspend DRC indefinitely. So I don't know. We all know indefinitely we don't know. The timetable is uncertain. It could be 2 weeks. It could be the rest of the season. We don't know. But this looks terrible for him. It looks awful.
It looks so bad. I mean, this is, like you said, DRC is known as a good locker room guy. My buddy texted me, hey, what happened with this situation? I'm like, I don't really know. He's like, is DRC known to be like a bad dude? I said, no.
No, he's not.
Any sense.
He's a veteran guy
The
who's
story
known
I
for his
heard.
leadership.
I heard a story that there's something happened during the game. Rogers Cromartie had was even described it as an altercation. I don't know if this was on the sideline or in the locker room, but with a coach,
Mm-hmm.
McAdoo, I'm not sure, or another coach, someone on the staff, an altercation, and they didn't really address it right away. He comes to the facility. They asked him to leave
They asked
because of that. Because of this quote unquote altercation. That was Landon Collins' word.
him.
Altercation between Rogers Cromartie and a coach sometime on Sunday. And Rogers Cromartie comes to the building Wednesday, and they say they send him home. So,
Well, I guess
what
there's
happened?
some conflicting stories now.
Right. No matter what it is, it's just the
But
wheels are
I mean,
coming
Mike,
off.
I know Mike, I know you've been kind of being on not so much on McAdoo's side because I know you know him well, but you've been kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt sometimes. But in a sense like this, with this team being 0-5 and just what's gone on with this team, like what would be, as an outsider and not a Giants fan, what would be your assessment of this guy so far? I mean, let's take last season out of it. Just in this season, what is your assessment of Ben McAdoo?
The thing, the only time I really defend McAdoo is with the play calling stuff. I'll really defend any coach with that stuff because I still think you need really good players and any play will work. That being said, I think the job of a head coach, in a perfect world, no head coach would call plays. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, we make fun of him, but give me that Mike Tomlin who just strolls up and down the sideline in his FUBU jacket and just kind of controls everything. You don't call a play. Men. A head coach in the NFL has to be a leader of men, and that's it. So get rid of the play sheets. Just be in control of the team. You cannot lose a football team. You can't lose a single guy if you're a head coach. Last year, you're 11-5. Everything's golden.
Yeah, it was 11-5. 11-5.
Of course, everyone's going to be all chummy and pulling on the rope together. But the true test is when the shit starts going sour and you're 0-5. Backs being sent home from practice, and your wide receiver core is a meat wagon, mash unit. That's the test, and he's failing miserably.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you do. I don't think firing right now is going to help.
No, you're right, because you're right. You can't fire the guy now. It's just that would look so much worse for the team, for the organization. You ride it out. You see, you know what? I think? I think these next 12 games are going to be important for the head coach. It is.
Yeah.
Because not so much on the outcome of the games. It's what he does with this team, what he does with certain players, how he goes about practice, how he goes about handling the media.
And do these guys play for him?
Yes, exactly. And it's really, really important these next 12 games what he does. And I don't know what's going to happen, but if I keep seeing shit like this, I want his head on a spike. A freaking spike. And I know your feeling on him right now. It's very bitter, and it's my feeling as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't keep saying it. Like, he's pissed me off enough. This just looks terrible. This is this is a New York Mets situation, and it just looks terrible. But for some reason, I feel bad for I feel bad for all Giant fans right now. We had high hopes this year. It's crumbled. The New York Jets are in first freaking place at 3-2, and that's who should be being talked about right now, not this crappy team.
You're right. You are 100% right. And Rye, what you just brought up, I think, amplified why Giants fans are so pissed off because we were slated to be a Super Bowl contender this year. You know, maybe if we were kind of like a rebuilding team and they said, okay, let's hope to win 6 games or so, then it would be a lot different. It would be a different feeling. But to be 11-5 last year and to, have a second year with this guy, with this new coach, you think, okay, we added Brandon Marshall. We needed a couple of offensive pieces. We drafted a tight end who can play some slot and some outside. So we're going to be better. That's what I thought. That's what you thought. We're going to be a better team. We're going to be a Super Bowl contender. So that's why I think this makes everything 10 times worse. No?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Like, this is just, it magnifies the situation.
Yeah, it does. So, we're going into this game in Denver. It's like after such a shitty week of losing our best player and losing 2 more guys to IR, 2 more receivers to IR, and just being 0-5, losing another game, we got to go into Denver on a rested Denver Broncos team. It's the perfect storm. We're starting Roger Lewis. We're bringing Travis Rudolph and Ed Egan off the practice squad. We re-signed Tavares King. Remember him, right? Tavares King?
Yep.
We re-signed him after we just waived him 3 weeks ago. So I have to laugh about this.
Yeah, I mean, good for those guys to get a shot. I mean, at least somebody else, playing in the NFL now. So
yeah, it is.
If anything,
it is. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, like you said, these guys are getting their opportunities, and maybe some guy comes out like a diamond in the rough and shows us something fun. And who knows? But I don't think this week and going forward there's anything to really look forward to as a Giants fan. Obviously, we will continue to watch because we are diehards, and we got to talk about it. We got to talk about them on this podcast. But I mean, there's another team, the Green Bay Packers. Michael, they just came off a great win, and we loved it just as much as you did, brother, because you beat our freaking arch rivals who we cannot stand, the damn Dallas Cowboys, and now you're rolling in to the Minnesota Vikings, brother.
The Purple Palace.
Screw them.
Minnesota. A nice new stadium they got there, but another tough road game. But how do you know? I'm. It's not a game that scares me. Their defensive line does, and their defense as a whole. Everson Griffin rushing the passer. It's going to present a lot of problems, and we're still not sure about the left tackle situation. This injury is just taking a lot longer than expected, or at least than I expected, because I think it's a hamstring. I believe, but whatever it is, it's still a big question mark. So left tackle, still unsure. I mean, Lane Taylor's done a fine job over there to help him out a little bit to slow down Everson Griffin, because that's a good defense. Their offense, Case Keenum and Latavius Murray and Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen have had big games against the Packers in the past. But that was with a red-hot Sam Bradford at quarterback at the time. Keenum. We struggle against the pass, but we do. Well, we should. We got on Dak a lot. But Dak, he's a tough guy to bring down. I don't see Case Keenum, Clay Matthews sacks on Sunday. So I expect to hit Keenum early and often. You know, Mike Daniels back on the inside helps the interior pass rush. So, you know, listen, you got to play well in the NFL to win. But the way Rodgers is playing right now, Nelson, I think, is going to be okay. You saw is absolutely okay. So the offense should continue to roll, and even against a good defense, they should be able to put enough points. You know, somewhere in the 20s. I don't see Minnesota. I don't see Case Keenum being able to keep up with Aaron Rodgers. I just don't.
I watched this this Vikings team play a few times this year. I saw them play the other night. I know Bradford was banged up and Keenum came in, but Trubisky and the Bears had a chance to win that game. I cannot see this game slipping away from the Packers. I can't.
No.
And you know, one thing that you didn't mention about Aaron Rodgers when we were talking about him the other day, and everyone's probably seen this play. We talked about how great he is. You can't say enough about him. That freaking 18 to 20 yard scramble he had.
Yeah.
In that last drive where unbelievable.
On 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, when you absolutely can't take a sack.
No. Yep.
And not. And I saw film of that play. Dallas was in 2-man, and the 2 linebackers underneath. One was assigned to Aaron Jones, and one was kind of assigned to Rodgers. Came through the line, and you know he was lined up to the left of Rodgers. Came through the line, didn't go out to the flat, but went right across the linebacker's face, and they both kind of chased after him, which gave Rodgers that little lane. Oh, now the problem was David Irving, I believe it was kind of right there, and there was another defensive lineman bracketing him on the other side, and he had to tiptoe out of both of those guys. But it's just incredible. He finds like an extra gear when he really, really needs it. He even finished the run. You see, he lowered his shoulder, and then whoever the defensive back was that challenged him at the sideline, Rodgers didn't. You know, he threw the shoulder into the defensive back. He was obviously really pumped up about it because it was such a big play. To go to the end zone and win the game. But just the situation where we had no timeouts. And I think 20 seconds on the clock. So he gets sacked. You can't clock it. It's 4th down.
Yeah.
The sprint onto the field, line up and make a kick just to tie it. So it changes dramatically. Ballsy, really, really ballsy. But I mean, you know, he does it over and over and over. You trust him to do it. You know, I'll trust him to do it again.
Yeah,
incredible.
I think he's the best quarterback in football right now. And some may dispute Tom Brady, but I don't think so. Right now, if you're telling me right now, it's Aaron Rodgers. Just what he can do with his legs too. And like you just said, that play, Brady can't do that. He can't make that play. He doesn't make that play.
Listen, Brady's the greatest winner of all time.
Yes, I'm saying right now, my man.
But but there's things that Aaron Rodgers does on a football field that no one has ever done.
No,
including Tom Brady.
What were you saying, Ryan?
Well, I said he high stepped out of a tackle on that play.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He actually said post game that was something he worked on in the end zone. He said, "I don't get my knees high enough when I run." So it's something because it kind of keeps your feet moving more like a running back, and it's something he actually worked on. It's unbelievable. What can this guy work on? He finds something.
Getting those knees up, baby.
He did.
Great.
I'm just waiting for him to bring back the mustache, man.
I
mean, that thing's lethal.
Yeah, when the weather starts to turn, we may see it.
Well, it was great to see, and you're going into Minnesota, but like you said, that offense doesn't scare you. Diggs is hurt, by the way, too. He's got a hamstring, and he's questionable, and he hasn't really practiced much. So, yeah, especially if he doesn't play, they're in big trouble. I think, even being at home, you don't want to hear that stupid freaking horn, man.
Hate it.
You really don't. You hate it. They don't have a running game anymore. McKinnon had a nice game last game, but he's not, I don't think he can sustain that. It's a different animal. You're playing the Packers now. You're not playing You're not playing the Bears. So I don't see any problem in that game. I like the Packers a lot in that game. And you just got to keep rolling, man. That'll bring you to 5-1. And just take control. Take control of that division because it's been tight. It was big, it was big that Detroit lost that game against Minnesota. It was big. So, I mean, you just got to take control of that division. I think they will. I think they'll do their part to take control. And first step is this weekend beating the Vikings.
Yes,
on the road. You know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of looked at the schedule for this weekend, and there aren't many games I'm excited about now. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be gone this weekend. I probably won't be back until the Giants game. So I'll see a shitty game too. But if I were to watch, I mean, obviously at one, that Green Bay, Minnesota, I would watch that one, obviously. The only other one that kind of I may look at, and it's probably because I have some fantasy guys, or it might be that high scoring game, is that Detroit, New Orleans in New Orleans. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where I would go with that because I don't think New Orleans is that good. I don't. And I think that home field advantage that they've always had at the Dome is not really it's not existent anymore. It's non-existent. But I think when you have a guy like Drew Brees, anything is possible. And I like that guy a lot. I like him a lot, and I think they will. I think they're going to beat Detroit. I think they will. What do you guys feel about that game?
Well, I'll be interested. I mean, if the Lions lose and the Packers win, the Packers will have a 2-game lead early, and like you said, we'll be in early control of that division. So, yeah, I'm always keeping an eye out on the North for sure.
I'll look at it. Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it too. I look at it like this. This game could go either way. I expect the shootout. I think getting rid of Adrian Peterson for Kamara and Ingram is only helpful. Not that Peterson did anything, but just that they don't have to look over their shoulder and take touches away from them. I think New Orleans is actually going to be a little bit better this week, and I'm leaning with you, Rye. I kind of like them in this game. But I do expect big games all across the board from a lot of these players and a lot of fantasy implications. But at 1 o'clock, I mean, we have this AFC East first place matchup going.
Oh, baby.
I can't believe you said that too.
Get your popcorn.
I mean, is it possible? This Patriots defense is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that the Jets can win this game?
No.
Is it possible that they cover the spread 9.5?
No.
See, I don't think they can win. I think they can cover the spread.
They could, but Rye, I have that feeling this is going to be one of those Patriot beatdowns. They haven't had one yet, and I think Tom Brady's going to come out there and throw 5 touchdowns.
I could see that too. I could also see a funky kind of backdoor cover by the Jets. That's why I wouldn't touch this game personally. But yeah, I can kind of see just a Belichick beatdown. Like, what's the game plan that can score us 100 points? Let's do that.
It could
give up 30 even to the Jets' anemic offense because our defense is that bad. But let's score 130 points. Try.
Oh man. I mean, there's really no other great games at 1 o'clock. They're pretty damn bad, guys. There's not
even a good game at 4 o'clock or 8
o'clock. I'm looking at 4 o'clock. I'm looking at the Pittsburgh, Kansas City game.
Oh, come on, Pittsburgh.
You know why I'm looking at that game? Because I just want to see after Big Ben throws 5 picks and then tells himself and tells everybody else that maybe he's not good anymore. Maybe he's not. And let's see him throw 4 more.
I know. The one thing is Casey has let up a ton of points this year. This is either going to be Big Ben like with a big FU game and hitting Antonio Brown for like 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or like he said, which I can't believe he said it.
I know.
Or he's done, and that would be crazy. Either way, it would kind of be crazy to see.
Right, I got a question for. Actually, I got a question for both of you guys. Okay. So Big Ben and Eli Manning, same draft class. Who retires first?
Well, Big Ben just said he was done.
I know that, but do you think that's true? Do you think he goes out first, or do they go out at the same time?
Well, let me tell you, if he gets his ass kicked again this week and next week, a few more times this year, I think he might retire.
Yeah. Well, if you remember before the season, he was saying that he might retire before this season.
Right.
So, and guys, I mean, he don't look the same.
Yeah.
He does not look the same. He looks freaking terrible.
Maybe he's hurt. Who knows? Probably is.
He probably is. The way he plays, he's probably one of the hardest guys to tackle as a quarterback, to bring down. He takes so many freaking hits too. Just be like, dude, you're done. Go home. Or maybe he's just a big pussy. I don't know. But I'm gonna watch that game because remember, the Kansas City Chiefs were my Super Bowl pick, so I got to keep a close eye on that game.
Yeah, no, I understand. The Rams-Jaguars game is the other one that's interesting to me because I just got to see, like, this Jaguar defense has been so good, but then they had like a really bad game mixed in there.
Mm.
What are they going to do to Goff coming across the country? I think they're in Jacksonville, I believe. Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're coming across the country, west to east. That's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically starting this game at 10 a.m. Defense that has been freaking – they've been animals.
20 more fantasy points than any other team defense.
It's crazy.
I mean, on my squad, so I hope it's the same.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Well, I feel you there. And then you got the night game, Rye. That's our pride and joy right there. The Giants going to Denver. That, oh God. I mean, that should be a laugher if you think about it. No.
Yes.
The Broncos offense isn't that special, though. They're not. Couldn't you see the Giants lose? Like, what's the number?
Huh?
What's the spread?
The spread is, I think it was 11.5.
Can't you see the Giants losing like 16-6?
Yo, Mike, you're breaking up, brother.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. You're like Choppy Chopperson a little bit.
Yo, want to come back in a minute? Just exit out and come back in a minute.
We'll try again.
Right. While we're on the subject, Mike thinks it could be like a game like a 16-6. You think that could happen? Something like that? Maybe the Giants defense plays well against this Denver offense, or no?
I think it's possible, but I expect monster things from C.J. Anderson. We can't stop the run this
year
at all, and I expect this guy to go for 140.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not going to dispute that, man. We've watched too many games this year where this run defense, it just looks like there's 600 holes, and guys just break through for 10 yards. And also, we're missing tackles. So guys that should be tackled within 6 yards are breaking it to 10, 11, 12 yards.
Yeah, like 140 and five or six touchdowns. That's definitely doable.
It really is doable. I mean, it's crazy to think that. And then McManus, he'll probably hit like 4 50-yarders in Denver.
Or we'll lose the game on an 80-yard field goal by McManus.
80 yards, yeah. That would be very apropos, wouldn't it?
And then so after this and Monday night we don't have a great game either. I hope Mariota plays so we see something good. I like watching him play.
Yeah.
Brissett has been. I mean, I said they'd go 0-16 if Tolzien was the starter, but Brissett has played okay. He's built this rapport with T.Y. Hilton now. He's keeping the team in games. They're winning games. So they're not as bad as they could have been. So this game actually could be a good game to watch from like a fun standpoint.
Right.
But this weekend is another bad weekend of football, I think. I mean, especially
It
for
really
Giants
is.
fans.
No, I mean, I know for us, definitely, it's terrible just the way we are. And it's going to be like that probably for the rest of the season. But yeah, you look up and down the schedule for this week. It doesn't seem very promising. You just kind of got to watch the games to root for your fantasy team and your FanDuel team, your DraftKings team. You know what I'm saying? That's what keeps us going.
I feel you. So speaking of DraftKings, do you want to? What are your? You got any picks for DraftKings for this week?
Well, you know what? You know what's pretty interesting? I'll give you a quarterback that I don't know why he's still this low, especially because he's playing the worst team ever. Deshaun Watson's only 7,900 still. How does he not break the 8,000 barrier?
I
How does
know.
he not break it?
I
That
agree.
is a value in itself. And you know who I'm stacking him with? I'm not stacking him with Hopkins. I'm not. I'm stacking him with Will Fuller, the fifth, Rye, the fifth.
You know why I can't stack him with Fuller? I love the stack. I have Watson on one of my teams already, stacked with Hopkins. I can't do it with Fuller yet
No?
because he has the targets, the catches are not there.
Mm-mm.
It's the catch. Every time he catches the ball, it's like a touchdown.
It
You
is.
know,
You know why I'm stacking? In terms
yeah.
of us talking about value. That's why.
Oh, I get it. I get it. 79
Hopkins isn't much value just because he's so expensive. He probably will have a great game. If I want to do a value stack, I'm doing Watson and Fuller because Fuller is only 6,000.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And the fact that Watson's only 7,900 is pretty good. I mean, I think Hopkins is only 8,100. And I'm kind of surprised
Actually, that's
here
not
that
that bad.
yeah, I'm surprised he's not like more like 8,500 or something like that.
Dude, he may end up, if Watson keeps his pace, he may end up as the top receiver in fantasy points this year.
Oh yeah, I think he is right now. I think he's the top receiver now.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
So
It was Diggs for a while, but then Diggs had the bad game the other day.
yeah, he had like 4 yards or something.
Yeah.
All right, so what else? You got Watson and Fuller. What else you got, Ryan?
Um, I'm going to give you another wide receiver. I'll let you do that. I know you have a good running back. What about Danny Amendola at 6,100?
Yeah,
This guy's getting the targets. This guy's getting the receptions. And I mean, he plays on an offense that likes to score, and they're playing the Jets, man. 6,100. I'm going Danny Amendola. Lock it in. That's my value lock of the week.
I like it. I like it. So my value lock. Now, okay, I can't say lock, but we talked about Deshaun Watson, right?
Right.
Playing the worst team in the league or whatever.
Yeah, it's Cleveland Browns.
But you know what? Watson, the Texans have let up a ton of points.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Hogan is now the quarterback.
Kevin Hogan gut.
And he's 6,100.
Wow.
That is below. I think he's the lowest starter right now. And if you can save the money at the quarterback position, and he could give you 15 to 20, which I think is definitely possible. I think he could definitely get you 20 here. Because why can't he give you 2 touchdowns and a bunch of yards? I expect them to be down big. Kaiser's not going to come in this game. They've given this game to at least Hogan. Hogan's going to be throwing downfield a ton in the second half of this football game. And I just expect him to give you garbage time, 20 fantasy points at least. And for the price, you cannot do that at 6,100.
And you know what, Rye? That Texans defense lost J.J. Watt and Merciless for the season. So yeah,
Exactly.
That's a cute little value play. Mike, you back?
I think I'm here.
Oh, you sound good now, man. We're talking a little FanDuel, man. What do you got for us? You got any value plays?
Oh, well, you guys know I'm really good at this, so
I know. Come on.
buckle your seatbelts. I look really quick. I got a quarterback that I wouldn't play in a big tournament because he's probably going to be pretty high owned, but Kirk Cousins at 7,800. San Francisco gives up 300 yards to everybody. My grandma could throw for at least 2 bills on this defense.
Probably.
So Cousins at 7,800, more in like a cash play, really, really high floor. I mean, you could throw him in a big tournament, but he's probably going to be high owned. But I like Cousins to to maybe have a huge day,
Hmm.
25 to 30 point kind of day. And I like his price under the 8,000 mark. And a running back I have is Alvin Kamara on the Saints.
Like it.
5,800 in what should be a track meet indoors. Like we mentioned, no Peterson, not like Peterson was really stealing touches anyway, but it could be the Alvin Kamara show. They could just completely take the training wheels off and let him run wild if he can. So I actually love Kamara at 5,800 in all formats. So Cousins, Kamara. Hopefully they don't suck for anybody who decides to play him.
Right, you have a running back for us?
I do have a running back. I gave you this guy last week. He was 6,100 last week. He ended up getting a touchdown. He had like 11 fantasy points. Not great, but for 6,100, it's okay. This week he's 6,000, and it's Marshawn Lynch. And I'm giving you Marshawn Lynch for a few reasons.
Beast mode.
One of them, he's facing the Chargers.
Yeah.
Who the Giants ran on. If the Giants could run on them, Marshawn Lynch can run on them. Now, I give you that, and I give you the fact this QB situation in Oakland. Now, there's a chance that Manuel plays. There's a chance that Carr plays. Now, if Carr plays, I don't think it hurts Lynch's value like you might think.
No.
Because he's coming back from injury. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little timid, which maybe I wouldn't rush him back. But I feel like they're going to hand the ball to Lynch a ton here, with or without Carr. Wow. I mean, his touches went up last week. He got the touchdown. I expect his touches to go up again. And they're going to ride Marshawn Lynch this week, and I'm expecting his first 100-yard day of the season.
Ooh. Heard it here first.
Yeah, that was pretty good. To be honest with you, I wasn't too crazy other than I did have Lynch down here too, Rye, so we were kind of thinking together because of that Chargers D. The other guy I threw on here was Amir Abdullah at 64. Like you said, Mike, track meet in that game, and the Saints D is usually just freaking horrible.
Yeah.
So, and Amir Abdullah, for Christ's sake, he's having a really good season for what the expectations were for him. We ripped him when we were talking about our buddy's draft.
Yeah, Timmy.
Yeah, and he's having a really good season. They're trusting in him a little bit more. He's getting the opportunities, and he's doing pretty well. So I kind of like him at that spot at 64. Last one for me, a tight end. Ready for this one, Ryan? You're gonna like this one. I think you're gonna like this one. You might not even know who this guy is. AJ Derby. You know this guy?
AJ Derby.
AJ Derby is 4,600. Tight end for the Denver Broncos against the Giants. He had like 5 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown last game. He seems like the clear-cut number 1 tight end. Virgil Green's just terrible. His name's Virgil. So I'm going AJ Derby because, Rye, and I know that this Giants defense can never stop tight ends. This has been going on for years.
Well, you mentioned the tight end. I agree, AJ Derby. And this isn't necessarily a value play, and I actually forget how much this guy is. I said it earlier. C.J. Anderson's going to go for 140 this week against the Giants. Pick up C.J. Anderson.
Right now.
Pick him up.
Pick him up. Mike, you got anything to add? That's all I got for FanDuel.
Do I have anything to add?
Any more FanDuel picks?
I have one thing to add. Just don't use my picks because I'm terrible. That's all I have to add.
I got a quick wide receiver one, and I got another tight end. I mentioned him earlier.
Go ahead.
Ryan, Evan Ingram. What else are the Giants going to do? 5,300. Yeah. Who else are they going to throw to? Is Roger Lewis going to have 6 catches? No. Evan Ingram's going to have 6 or 7 catches, maybe 60, 70 yards. If he gets that touchdown, it's worth it. If he doesn't, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay at that price point.
And then my receivers, I'm riding the same guys I picked last week for the same reasons. Pierre Garçon at 6,800 and Larry Fitz at 66. Larry Fitz is going to get a ton of targets again. He's going to have a better game. And Garçon has a good game every week. And I expect, like Mike said, I expect Cousins to go crazy. So they're going to have to throw to Garçon. That's it.
Wow. So you guys heard it. Those are our FanDuel picks of the week. Let's hope one of us wins you some money if you pick them. But guys, here we are. Cue the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got our picks. We got
Big
our
sticky.
picks for week.
Rack it up. Throw it away.
So, I mean, Rye, why don't you start us off? You got to start us off this week. You're at the bottom right now, so you gotta bring us back. Bring the viewers back. Make them trust in Ryan Stanley's picks.
Go.
Oh God, don't trust them. But I'll start with the lock it up, throw it away pick of the week, and that is the Green Bay Packers at Minnesota. Now, I don't need to say anything else. They're the better team. That's it. Done. 49ers.
Wow.
The 49ers of San Francisco getting 11 in Washington, D.C. against the Deadskins. Now I just gotta go. I mean, I expect the Redskins to win this game, but I'm thinking 49ers cover the 11. It's a high number. The Redskins should never be favored by 11. They just shouldn't. And then Rye, I think Roethlisberger's done. I'm going KC -4 at home versus Pitt. I just like they're your Super Bowl team. I'm trying to go safe here because I've been sucking so bad. So I'm going Packers and KC as my safe picks, and the 49ers just like why the hell are they getting 11 against the Redskins? So let's go. Even if I go 3-0, it will get me to 7-8 on the season. I can make a comeback here. Let's do it.
Still alive.
Still alive. Oh, all right. I'll go now, Mike. You'll take the end. You'll take the tail end since you're the guy in first. Well, Rye, you took two of my picks actually, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it because Green Bay is going to win that game handily. I think they should have no problems with Minnesota. I'm taking them as well. -3. Lock it up. And I'm also taking KC because you guys know that's my Super Bowl pick. I keep saying it. But I think this team is that good. And Pittsburgh is in a world of hurt right now. And Mike, you've said it many times. Now Pittsburgh on the road. Ben Roethlisberger on the road. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck. In KC, hostile environment. Alex Smith playing the year of his life. KC -4. And here we go. I'm picking against the Jets again, baby. New England -9.5. They are going to have the blowout. I kind of hinted that before. I think they're just going to steamroll the Jets this week. This is their game. They're going to put up a lot of points, and they're going to do it at MetLife Stadium. So give me Green Bay -3, Kansas City -4, and the New England Patriots -9.5. Michael Hall.
How high would that New England number have to be for you to actually take the Jets? 28?
I don't even know, man. I'm confident in this
Infinity?
team. I mean, I know exactly.
Okay. Pick number 1. We're going to go to that track meet game we've been talking about, the Lions and the Saints. I kind of like the Lions here, getting the 4.5. Stafford was a little banged up. It sounds like he's okay. I can see Stafford just throwing his little country heart out here. The Saints defense blows. They blow. And even if Breeze is red hot, I don't see Stafford having a problem keeping this close. Even if it takes a late cover, a late touchdown, I don't think Stafford's going to have a problem with that. The Lions are always in close games anyway. So I like the Lions at +4.5. Number 2. All right, boys, you ready for this one? It's going against your guys, one of your picks. It doesn't make any sense what I say because I say Roethlisberger's horrible on the road. I like the Chiefs as a team, but give me Pittsburgh in Kansas City +4, and I'll give you a couple reasons why. First of all, I don't know if Kelsey plays, and I think that's a really big deal. Okay, now if Kelsey
Practice today.
Practiced?
Full participant today in practice.
Okay. Well, I don't like this as much then, but I'm still going with the Steelers. I'm still going with the Steelers. I mean, listen, a couple things. The Chiefs, for having a pretty good home field advantage, they don't cover at home as favorites as much as you'd think or as much as you'd like. I looked it up, and they're not great. They have a Thursday game coming up next week, divisional game against Oakland. That could kind of be on their minds. That can affect the team sometimes. And listen to this stat. In the Big Ben era, okay, following a loss of 20 plus, and it's happened 8 times actually, the Steelers are 7-1 in the following week against the spread. I found that really, really interesting. I kind of put all these pieces together, and I have a funny feeling that Ben plays okay, that Bell can carry the team a little bit, and I think the Chiefs finally lay their first egg.
Wow.
So I'll take the Steelers at +4. And my lock of the week, here it comes. Stone cold lock of the week. Tampa Bay, -1.5 at Arizona. I mean, I bet the farm on this one. I don't think anyone realizes how bad the Cardinals suck.
They're terrible.
They are so bad. The Bucs are only favored by 1.5. The Cardinals, they can't run the ball. They can't defend the pass. They can't even freaking block. They can't throw it deep. Carson Palmer, his arm is barely hanging onto his neck. The guy's just he's in shambles, a shell of his old self. I mean, the Tampa's on extra rest. I mean, this game just it's juicy, and I want it. And another stat for you. Teams going to London, okay? And Arizona is going to London next week. Those teams are 12-22 against the number in that game before London. It clearly affects teams. They're thinking about it. And Arizona is just horrible. So I love Tampa at -1.5. Steelers +4 at Kansas City, and the Lions +4.5 at the Saints.
Damn.
I love it. I love the Tampa Bay pick. That was my fourth pick if I was going to do another one. And now hearing you say it, I wish I took it because it makes a lot of sense. Now, does anybody have Dave's picks?
I don't.
All right, so listen, we don't have Dave's picks, but tune into our Twitter account for Dave's picks.
Yeah.
At some point before this weekend.
We'll tweet Big Dave's picks. Get him in.
We'll get his picks in. Mike, damn, you threw a lot of statistics out there. That was cool. Very cool.
We'll see if they work. Probably not.
We'll see. Hey, you're the lead man. Me and Stan are sitting in the back end picking the same picks, but hey, we'll see what happens. Guys, it was a great discussion, man. And Mike, you got to be excited. Big game tomorrow for you.
Oh, yes. Tune in game 1.
Oh, yeah. Tune in game 1 tomorrow.
Time.
Yanks, Astros.
I got game 1 on Tuesday.
You got game 1. What do you got?
Basket hoops.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
It's awful that my hope in life is the October game 1 Boston Celtics game because everything else sucks.
Well, all in basketball, baby. Here we go.
Well, it's not the Eagles are winning 28-16. Looks like they're going to beat Carolina. Hating it to the depths right now. But listen, whatever. It is what it is. Please, guys, just you got to follow us. Check us out on YouTube, man. We're always live, and you can always watch our videos. Check our channel out. Give it a view. Want those views. SoundCloud and iTunes as well. Subscribe to our iTunes account. Download the episodes. Just listen to them on the way to work, on the way home from work. They're a good listen. And check out our Twitter account. We're always tweeting here and there. Tweet us back. We'll retweet. Ask us some questions at The Angry Hacks. And boys, we'll see everybody next week. Enjoy a great weekend of football, some hockey, some playoff baseball. And then, of course, like Mr. Stan the Man said, on Tuesday, some basketball. So have a good night, everyone, and enjoy the weekend.